The camera slowly opens on a dirt road, surrounded by golden cornfields swaying gently in the wind. The setting sun paints the sky in shades of orange and red. In the middle of that lonely road, an old wooden wagon moves with difficulty. On its worn-out seat, a man wearing a straw hat grips the reins tightly. His expression is tired but determined. The wagon is loaded to the top with corn cobs, so heavy that every creak of the wheels sounds like a cry for help. Ahead, a brown horse, its coat drenched in sweat, struggles to pull the overwhelming weight. Suddenly, a dry snap. The wagon's wheel sinks deep into the mud. Yesterday's rain has turned a small patch of the road into a treacherous bog. The man pulls on the reins. The horse strains, muscles trembling, hooves sliding, but the wheel won't budge. He insists, shouts, commands, "Come on! Move, get out of there, come on!" The animal digs its hooves harder, grunting, but nothing happens. The man, now impatient, jumps off the wagon. He walks to the horse and, in a desperate gesture, begins whipping its back. Each strike echoes with frustration. "Move! Move, you useless beast, don't make a fool of me." The horse whinnies in pain. Its big, sad eyes reflect the sunset and in something more broken trust. It doesn't understand why the one it calls friend now turns against it. But the man doesn't see it. His frustration blinds him. He keeps pushing, shouting, striking, until exhaustion forces him to stop. Breathing hard, he looks up at the sky and cries out, God, please, send me help from heaven. I can't do this anymore." The only answer is the whisper of wind through the corn. The man lowers his head, sits on the edge of the wagon and buries his face in his hands. Then a soft light appears behind him. He lifts his head, startled. Standing a few steps away is a figure dressed in white, serene and glowing with a calm light. Not blinding, but warm like an embrace. "An angel, do you need help?" The angel's voice echoes, firm yet full of compassion. The man jumps to his feet, almost stumbling, and rushes forward. Yes, for God's sake, I need help. Please get my wagon out of this mud. I can't take it anymore." The angel steps closer, eyes that seem to see far beyond the mud, beyond the wagon, beyond the man himself. Then he speaks. "I did not come to pull your wagon out of the mud." The man freezes. "What? But I asked for help. I'm here alone, stuck." "And you're telling me you won't help?" The angel raises his hand, calling for silence. "I came to give you something far more valuable than strength to push a wagon. I came to give you understanding. You've been sitting here waiting while time passes, but you're doing nothing. You're so busy blaming the horse, so busy complaining, that you can't see what you already have. Strong arms, steady legs, and a mind that can think." The man lowers his head. Tears roll down, mixing with the mud. "Listen carefully." The angel's voice now thunders with authority. "God does not help those who refuse to move. He opens paths, but you must walk them. You must fight even when everything seems impossible. Life is full of holes, full of mud, but every hole is a lesson. If you don't learn to climb out with your own hands, you will never learn to walk." The man looks at his hands. Strong, calloused from years of labor. They've always been there. He just didn't see it, because he was too busy waiting for an easy miracle. "So what do I do?" he whispers. The angel smiles, lays a gentle hand on his shoulder and says, "Get up. Wipe your tears. Cut some branches, place them under the wheels. Remove some of the load from the wagon. Use the strength God already gave you. What you ask from heaven is already inside you." The man takes a deep breath. For the first time that day, he feels hope. He walks to the horse, strokes its neck gently, silently apologizing. Then, without wasting another moment, he begins to act. He cuts branches, lays them under the wheels, pushes with all his might. The horse pulls again, this time without pain, and the wagon moves. First an inch, then another, until finally it is free. The man falls to his knees, exhausted but smiling. When he looks up to thank the angel, he is gone. Only the open road, the golden fields, and the certainty that he will never be the same again. The camera opens again on the same golden fields, but time has passed. The corn still sways in the wind, but the road looks wider, better cared for. In the distance, a sturdy modern wagon rolls steadily, loaded neatly with sacks of grain. But the man holding the reins is no longer the desperate soul from years ago. He is calmer now, older, wiser, his face marked by time, yet his eyes carry a fire only learned through life's hardest lessons. It's him, the same man who once sank into the mud, but now everything is different. He has grown, he has conquered, and trotting freely beside the wagon is a strong, healthy horse, not the one from before. That loyal companion rests in the heavens now. This is its descendant, a reminder of loyalty and resilience. The man stops the wagon under the shade of a great tree. He steps down slowly, wipes the sweat from his brow and gazes at the horizon. The sun begins its descent, setting the sky ablaze in colors of fire and gold. He exhales deeply. That view, that stillness, it awakens old memories. He sits on a large stone, pulls out a worn-handled knife and begins to slice open an ear of corn. And then, as if the wind itself carried voices from the past, he remembers the mud, the frustration, the cry to the heavens, the angel. The words still echo. God does not help those who refuse to move. What you ask from heaven is already inside you. He smiles faintly, staring at his hands. Rough, strong hands, the same hands that once trembled in despair, now steady and sure. How much has changed since that day? After pulling that wagon from the mud, he made a decision. Never again would he be a prisoner of laziness or fear. He vowed to fight, to work, to act instead of complain. The road was not easy. There were days he wanted to give up, days when tears fell silently, when doubts gnawed at his heart. But every time he thought of quitting, he remembered the angel's lesson. If you don't learn to climb out with your own hands, you will never learn to walk. Over the years, he prospered. He improved his land, learned better farming techniques, planned and invested wisely. He built not just abundant harvests, but a life of dignity. He never became rich in gold, but rich in something far greater: freedom, peace, and strength of spirit. As he slices the corn, the sound of light footsteps pulls him from his thoughts. He turns. A boy about 10 years old comes running barefoot through the dirt road, laughing as he waves a stick like a sword. "Dad! Dad, look what I found!" The boy shouts, breathless. The man smiles. His son, the greatest gift life gave him after the mud. "Come here, boy, sit with me." The child runs up and sits on the stone beside his father, still clutching the stick, dreaming of battles. The man studies him for a moment, then asks, "Do you know why we have all of this? These fields, this wagon, this quiet life?" The boy shakes his head, curiosity shining in his eyes. "Why, Dad?" The man looks toward the blazing horizon and begins to speak. "Because one day, a long time ago, I got stuck in the mud. My wagon was heavy and I was alone with no one around. So I prayed for help. I cried out to God, and He didn't send someone to push my wagon. Instead, He sent an angel to teach me something that changed my life. God helps those who fight, those who move, those who do their part." The boy's eyes widen. "And you got out all by yourself?" The man smiles softly. "Yes, son, because that day I understood something. I already had everything I needed: courage, strength, and faith. I just had to believe in myself." The boy sits quietly for a moment, then grins with the innocence of childhood. "So, if I ever get stuck in the mud, I can get out too." The man chuckles, wraps an arm around his son and says, "You'll never be alone, son. But if the day comes when you feel stuck, don't just ask God to pull you out. Ask Him for wisdom to use the hands, the mind, and the heart He gave you. That's what will change everything." The sun dips lower, bathing the land in golden light. The camera slowly pulls back, capturing father and son walking side by side down the road, the horse trotting along beside them. And then, like a whisper only the man can hear, the wind carries the voice that never faded. "I did not come to pull your wagon out of the mud. I came to teach you how to never get stuck again." He smiles, squeezes his son's hand and keeps walking, knowing the greatest wealth is not in the corn nor the wagon, but in the strength born when you finally believe you can.